Hi everyone, I just wanted to explain the new response journal that I've designed. It works through Google Sheets, so that's the spreadsheet version of a Google Doc. Here's the cover page, which you would send out to students, and it says here, number one, go to file, make a copy to save it to your own Google Drive. So you would send out the view only copy. And then number two, the students just need to know that they click on the tabs at the bottom left of their screen to go to the instructions. So you can see all the tabs down the bottom here: instructions, text details, home page, response prompts, and background research. So if we click into the instructions here, that explains everything basically that I'm going to explain to you. So let's have a look at what we're going to do. So first of all, if we click down the bottom here and the students can go to text details, you can see there that they just need to put in the title, the author, name of the characters, and a brief description. That's a good way to start them off. Then if they have a look at their home page, there are a lot of boxes here. And it might look overwhelming at first, but let's just take a look through. So this is the home page, as you can clearly see. And the rows here across, they are for the chapters or perhaps the scenes in a movie that you want to focus on. So scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, chapter 1, chapter 2. Obviously, when the students write, these boxes will expand as they've done up here with my example. So you've been set up for 75 chapters in case you've got one of those kind of novels. So they all have to write the chapter or scene summary. And then you can say to them, okay, I want you to give a response for the main character. They would write the name of the main character up here. Here's the minor characters. They need to write those in. You can see the square brackets. You might want them to do something about the main character. Always include quotations and something about a key object and symbolism. Now, where on earth do they start? Well, if you go down the bottom here to response prompts, click on this bottom tab, and there are a whole lot of responses there that they can choose from. Now, you can just scroll like this and you can see that those top headings stay there. So that will hopefully be handy. So you might say to them, okay, I want you to do, give me a response for chapter 1, a response on character, and one on setting, and one on a technique. And they can choose anything from these, this column on characters, this column on settings, this column on technique. Now, you might like to say, look, I want you to do C8 for this chapter or this scene. C8 and maybe E7 or something like that. And just write it on the board and tell them what ones they want to do. They can then either copy and paste or just remember it. And then they take that, go back to their home page, remember down the bottom tab here, and they start writing it in the appropriate place. So the idea behind this, and I've used it before, but I did it with a year 11 class is in a hard copy, and of course we had squares and squares of paper all glued together. They looked fantastic and dramatic, but they were quite cumbersome, of course. So here again, you can see that the headings stay there when the students scroll. Those top headings stay there, so hopefully that will be handy. So if at the end of your study the students go down, say, this column, they will have a whole lot of notes on the events, key events, or down this column they'll have a whole lot of notes on the main character. Here they'll have a big list of important quotations. Oops, a big list of important quotations if they look down there. Conversely, if you want, they can look at the chapters. So across here, row 1 will be all the notes about chapter 1 or scene 1 that you studied. All right, so down is the elements of literature that you get, and across are the chapters or scenes. So again, they just go down to that tab, grab a response that you choose or they choose and use it as a prompt for their homepage. Okay, included in this as well is background research, a little bit there. Again, these will expand when the students write. So say you did blood diamond, you might want them to look into things like child soldiers or fair trade. So they can write the topic here and then just copy and paste things or summarize whatever they find online. It's generally going to be online, and just put the URL there. All right, so it gives them a bit of background reading or maybe a bit of after reading or a bit of homework, whatever you like. We looked at this page, didn't we? The text details, title, author, and the characters. Yep, I think we did look at that. So that's everything. So remember, it's all in the tabs down here. It's so much easier. So you can add, by the way, response prompts that you might like. I've just added a whole lot that I can think of. These are for the whole text, the green ones, by the way, and the white ones are for the chapter or scene that they're reading at the moment. But it's a good way to get them started. I hate not having some kind of response journal because I haven't had time to think up, okay, what questions am I going to ask? Even generic questions are quite tricky for them sometimes, you know, the what if, you know, why didn't ... They tends to give you really simplistic answers. So hopefully these prompts will help them think a bit more critically, and you don't have to set up a journal for each text. It's all here. But as I say, it's a Google sheet, so you can add more response prompts if you want or as you think of them. Okay, so I hope this is a revolutionary new response journal for you and your students.